Celebrating 5 years of live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hello.
Yeah.
You've been listening to that 250 times.
At least.
It is our 5-year anniversary show.
That's right.
We
Woo!
and filling your children with candy. It has been Ask Engineer every single week for 5 years. It's
right.
me, the engineer, same engineer for 5 years,
Yeah.
and also Mr. Ladyada, previously known as AdaBot, previously known as that guy's hand.
Yeah.
Who is helping with camera control and,
Yeah, I
and
press
code
all the
generation,
I press
all
all
that
the
good
buttons and stuff.
Button pressing. We have
Yeah.
an exciting show tonight. Extra special discount codes, tons of
Yeah.
videos, fantastic new products, and more,
Yeah.
and all of it. So why don't you join us on this journey?
Yes.
The next hour.
So we're gonna have a lot of stuff. First up, the code is 5 years, and it's 15% off. This is probably the last time we're ever gonna have a 15% off sale. It's celebrating our 5-year Ask an Engineer anniversary. 15% off everything in stock. It'd be crazy not to do something with it. We're gonna go over show and tell. We're gonna have a look back of Ask an Engineer past. Maybe talk about some Ask an Engineer future. Mailbag. Follow up on some open source hardware news in the world of business. Adafruit learning system, lots of new things. Wearable electronics, 3D printing, Raspberry Pi update, some new products. We're going to do a very special top secret. We're showing off something tonight.
It's like so
Yeah,
special.
we're showing off something that
Oh boy.
no one's ever heard about here.
No, you don't even know what it is.
Yeah, we're going to answer your question. We're going to have a trivia question, all that and more. If you've been here for the last few years, you've guessed it, is Ask an Engineer.
Still.
Yeah, still.
The
Okay.
longest running, by far, live engineering show
Yeah.
ever. I don't even know one that's not live, that's weekly, that's run this long.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it.
This is it. There's no other.
You're here.
This is the longest running and
can't
only
get
live
rid of us.
live
We're in your living
engineering
room.
show. Yeah.
We're in your computer. We're in your YouTube.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
let's first take care of some stuff, and we got a big show, so I'm going to keep it moving.
Yeah, gotta move.
I'm going to be pushing the boundaries of what we can do with the production tools tonight. So if anything crashes, we'll be right back. But before that,
5 years.
yeah, 5 years is the code. Don't forget, it's a celebration of our 5-year Ask an Engineer anniversary. We still take Bitcoin. That is not something 5 years ago I would have thought that we would have.
That's very hacker showy.
Yeah, I think we probably would have said, "Oh, cool! You just like pay with math and just like there's this Bitcoin thing." Okay, that's definitely what we're gonna do. I mean, we'd say it like that.
I'd have been like, wow, somebody read like applied cryptography and took it seriously or something. All right, free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff right now. We have the Perma-Proto half size, and that's
Can never have too many.
and that's for $99 or more, and $200 free UPS ground, continental US.
Yep.
You got that going on. All right, show and tell. Show and tell also just celebrated an anniversary. For 2 years, we've been doing show and tell. It's a live hangout series.
Yep, we started 3 years into
Yeah.
Ask Engineer.
Yeah, every Wednesday at 7:30, show and tell.
And then last week was the 1-year anniversary of Becky's show.
Becky's show, 1-year anniversary of Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
And then we just started 3D Hangouts.
3D Hangouts. I think this will be our 4th show.
Fourth show. So yeah, month anniversary.
All right, so Ladyada, go through these quickly. Who was on the show and tell?
Show
What did they
tell.
show?
We had a tight crew. Tony DeCola came in. He's been slogging on the Wi-Fi for BeagleBone Black. He's been working on how to stabilize and use Wi-Fi adapters with the BeagleBone Black. If you've been wondering why your Wi-Fi is flaky, check out his tutorial. It's really good. He also got a ProTrinket Plus Bluefruit working, which is great. He'll have a great show about that later. Neil Pedro showed off this week's 3D Thursday project. It's a mini Raspberry Apple Pi. It's a little mini Mac Classic with a Raspberry Pi in it, and you can even run a Mac emulator. It is just the most adorable thing in the world. Jay came by. He's been working on Fringe Festival tech, and he designed some LED costumes and goggles and smartphone reactive interactive questionnaires for this no exit festival. Roberto came in with a lizard controlled rover that he's been working on, and he also made a Raspberry Pi time-lapse documentation tool that he designed for documenting his lizard rover. He actually didn't say it was going to be lizard control, but I'm just...
We kept saying it. We just kept saying it.
It's my fault. It's my fault. Lon is working on his NeoPixel space gun, and he's doing some casting stuff. So it's kind of cool. He's using two-part epoxies, elastomers, and molding compounds to make models of NeoPixel rings, and then create custom enclosures for them because he does not have a 3D printer. So he's using like ancient 3D printing tech. And then finally, Rhett came on his first time, and he had a NeoPixel controlled, NeoPixel web server monitor that's, I think, was it a Raspberry Pi controlled? Or no,
Arduino.
It was Arduino.
Arduino controlled.
And it gets data from his web server and actually parses each page into a pixel, and he can watch the pixels go by, and so he can spot anomalies and spiders and crawlers and website crashes and all that good stuff using this ambient NeoPixel strip.
Yep. Okay. So that was the show and tell. All participants on the show and tell get as seen on the show and tell sticker. We actually send these out in the mail. They get a physical one.
You get a physical sticker.
Yep.
Vinyl. Good for outdoors.
If you want to join the show and tell, it's Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Here's what you do.
Go to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/+Adafruit and look for the thread where we say comment here to get added to our show and tell circle. Once you've commented, we will be able to click on your little avatar and add you to the circle, and you will join the other 300 very intelligent, attractive people who show up every single Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time to show off their electronics and crafty
It's
projects.
like a weekly maker fair, if I had to categorize. It's like a weekly HD version of the Adafruit blog where you see a lot of the projects.
It's like a live action blog / maker fair / Burning Man. There's always LEDs.
And now that we've been doing this for 2 years, I've received emails from people in our community, other companies, and they said, "Why do you guys do this?
Why do you do this?
Is it worth it? Because it seems.
Is it worth it?
Yeah. And then so is it worth it? Because you guys don't make any money on the show and tell. You're just
That's right. We don't even have like ads or
it's not a money thing. So why are you doing it? And it's one of the few times that we can meet all the people that are doing cool projects. But also we've found some of our best folks who've joined Adafruit through the show and tell.
That's right.
So they've come on the show and tell, showed their project, and then we started talking to them, and they would do a tutorial, and then we'd like, wow, that's really good, or they would do a project with us. We started selling someone's products, and now they're Adafruit team members.
That's right.
And so I don't know any better way to find better people than to have a place where you love what you do and you do what you love, and it just happens to be every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m.
It's a great way, and also we get in tune with our community and see what people are building, what they're interested in, and we get feedback and reports, and we get inspired, and people do stuff that we never even imagined, and it's great to see it. Some people also, they don't want to blog, or they don't have the time or patience, but they'll show up for like 5 minutes and show off their project, which is great.
Okay, so speaking of anniversaries, this is our 5-year anniversary on Ask an Engineer. 5 years ago, we started the show. It started with a webcam and just you and I in an apartment doing shipping, and you were doing the kitting, and you were putting little parts in cups, and people would place an order, and we turned on the webcam. We initially started with Ustream, so I have a screenshot of this. I'm going to do a little bit of
okay, this was our first one, right?
Yeah, this was one of our first ones, and that's from the webcam. And it's Ask All Your Engineering Questions, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday night. And this was in the very beginning when we...
This was 2009.
Yeah.
This is 4/15/2009, so this is not the first...
No, this is just a screenshot I could find.
Oh, okay.
Because later on, I didn't even know if we were going to be able to keep doing this. So I had a couple screenshots, and over time I try to always kind of document everything. So after we started doing this, we're like, hey, this is kind of popular. We should do this on a regular basis. So we had a contest in the forums about who could design the little graphics, because we wanted to have this as like a community thing. So we had all these little graphics. And these are the first, second, and runner-up graphics. I don't know if you remember these. And then we had a little, we had a little animation. Bing, bing, bing.
This one was great. Bam, bam,
Yeah.
and then zoop. Yeah.
So these are all the old graphics for the people who remember. And then I also took some pictures. So this is all the way when we had a laser cutter in our living room, and we had to use 2 laptops, and we tried to do.
This is in the living room. Oh, that's my workbench over
Yeah,
there.
you had a workbench that I built you, and then.
These are the blinds.
Yeah.
And that's the photo of the laser on fire.
Yeah, it's
Don't do that.
a company that we knew, their laser caught on fire, so we put a picture of it to make sure that we would remember.
That's the shipping station. All Adafruit shipping occurred on that computer.
One computer,
that one.
yeah, right underneath
That was the
us
shipping station.
right now. We did all the shipping on one little tiny computer. And we were shipping probably like
It's like 50 to 70 orders a day.
maybe 50 orders a day,
Yeah.
and now well over 1,000.
Yeah.
Well over 1,000. So
We can't be on one computer anymore. There's multiple now.
no, we have dozens of shipping stations back
Yeah.
behind us. Okay, so next up, I also took.
Running the same software though. I mean,
So
it's better, but it's
this, I had a photo of me setting up the stuff. So we had to use all these different weird PC programs because we had to have it work through like this Ustream thing. But anyways, there was this
there was a capture and a
there's a
thing,
capture thing. So there's
and that's the Adafruit stock. That's the web store.
all those kits behind me was pretty much all of our products. We had like
and that's a
50
day's
or
worth of
60.
shipping on the floor.
Yeah, and then this is another one. This is as we started on Ustream more and more. That's to chat.
Okay.
And then this is us when we started to get sophisticated. We could have a picture and then picture.
Yeah.
And then I started taking screenshots of some of the Ustream producer when we were able to use this software. So this is when we got an overhead and you would use the whiteboard.
Yeah.
And then this is when we started to have the segments where we would have, here's the overhead, the product time, here's a trivia question. And over time, everyone liked the different segments because they would say, oh,
Yeah.
when is the question time? When is trivia question time?
When is a cat?
Yeah,
Hold
when
up
is
then.
new product time?
Yeah.
And also, speaking of cats, because all of Adafruit was in an apartment, MOSFET would join the show each week. And we'd have to go find him, or
Yeah.
sometimes he would just hang out.
Hide under the bed.
Yeah,
Sad.
around 11 o'clock, because we did the show from 10 to
Yeah.
11. Because it was the only time where, like, because it was just a few of us at Adafruit, and mostly me and you. It was the only time that we actually had. A Saturday night at 10 o'clock was the only.
That was the only free time we had.
It's the only
we had
free
to
time
run the
we had.
company 7 days a week.
Yeah, I mean we still do, but now we do this on Wednesday, and MOSFET is at home right now.
He's still around. He's just resting.
And then when we would have special shows, I would try to take a picture. This is you and Waz. So Waz is the most frequent guest on the show.
Yep.
And
this is her
you.
designing the little bento box kit that we had.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite kits that we designed. She actually like got the CAD model and designed this thing, and it was awesome. And then they like discontinued the case, and I was angry.
Yeah, and then here's another one. This is when you were on the cover of Wired. You still had all the clothing and stuff for some of the other shoots, and so what we did is we had you like you were on the cover of Wired, and we had a special Ask an Engineer. I think we didn't find out until just a little bit right before the show that you were actually on the cover.
Yeah.
And so we quickly got that together, and then we did a special show, and that was like 3 years ago.
You can tell this is when we had like we were still like didn't have a really good internet connection, because you can see at the bottom you have the stay tuned, we'll be back.
Yeah.
That special images you'd flip to if you were having technical problems. You'd be able to flip to them.
And then, because sometimes it didn't work.
It didn't work out.
And then we started doing show and tell, and we had to capture them separately, and then we made them a video because Hangouts didn't record to YouTube. Now it does. So we had that. So we added that to the show. And I'll do some shout outs, but I also want to say thank you right now to George Graves, who's been recording all the shows in all different ways from the beginning almost.
I can't wait to find out that George Graves is really like a sentient AI or something.
That's fine.
That's fine.
And so thank you, George, for doing this, and everyone in the chat, please thank George. So
amazing, every single show.
So what we're going to do now is I did a screen capture
of
all the posts from the last 5 years.
Okay.
And I want you to try to look as closely as you can. I'll put it on this bigger screen over here.
Okay.
And try to call out the things that you see because we had so many different guests and so many different people. So this is going to be a little bit of a journey.
Okay.
And everyone can try to play along too.
Wait, what's going to happen?
All right. So here we go. So there's the first show, 2009-ish. Then we had Evil Mad Scientist Laboratories on the show. We kept track of the page views. We had Wendell. I think we did that one at NYC Resistor.
Logo.
We had Nate from SparkFun.
Nate was on the show.
We had more. We like posting the stats.
Yep. I did some demos showing WeFlow.
Yeah. And then there's our new space that we had. We went to Food Camp, and then we broadcast live from Food Camp.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Then we did one from Maker Faire.
That's right. That was a mess.
Yeah, that was hard to do. And then let's see. There's more. We did some panoramics. We had Woz on the show.
It's me.
There. So now we're up to 2010.
That's Pick and Place. I think we did a live.
We got the Pick and Place. Oh, there's Tom Igo and Woz.
That's fun.
And then we had Becky Stern. Halloween. We got in trouble with Connect. More Woz. Yeah.
Yeah, and now we start to do split screen.
Yeah, that was cool.
You had your hair cut really short.
Yeah, there's Woz again.
No more
there's
Woz.
MOSFET. Yeah.
And then you.
There you're on the cover art. There's Becky. And then
short hair Becky.
Yeah, then we got Business Cat. Woz again.
Woz.
There's Jerry Ellsworth.
Oh, that's when she did the A through C of electronics.
Yeah.
And then you did the coloring book.
Yep. And then we had our cufflinks.
Necklace.
Yep.
And eye cufflink.
Yep. And then we've got more Woz. Yep. Then we had Massimo, the Arduino team. We had Tom Igo again. We had
Boss Cat.
We released our badges.
LED strips.
There's Tyler. We hired him after coming on the show and tell. We've got the Arduino Tour Factory. We released Flora. We have
the Sugru kids.
Sugru. Kevin Townsend was on the show. We had okay, we're up to 2012.
This is nice.
Show and tell. Yeah, we've got Becky again. We got Jessica Ullman. She came on the show from Parallax.
LED matrices.
We had Aya from Little Bits.
Yeah, that was not too long ago.
Yeah, this is 2000.
That's the what's it called? The other show.
Matt Griffin.
The other thing.
We had Charles.
Yeah,
we had our Pick and Place. We had
the new Pick and Place.
Sandy shut us down, so we couldn't do it. Then we came back and we did a bunch of business.
Oh,
John
the Next
Janier.
Keyboard. You like that one?
Yeah, Next Keyboard. We had
NeoPixel, Sobel NeoPixels.
Kip Bradford. We had Mike Esty, Adabot. We have
Raspberry Pi projects.
Raspberry Pi stuff.
Floor stuff.
Color
Scarf.
That
was another Pick and Place.
Yep.
That was
Colin.
Tony Nicola's cat, I think.
Yep. And then we've got
Wi-Fi.
Tom White with our puppets. That was then we're up to our 4-year anniversary. We're almost there. SparkFun came back on the show. Todd Bailey was on the show.
That was Maker Faire New York.
Yep. And then free Raspberry Pi during the holidays promotion we did. And then Nate from SparkFun again. And then we've got Alicia from the Open Source Hardware Association. And then we had new product launch, Arduino Day 2014.
Yeah, there's a special
We had Jerry from Popular Mechanics. And we are now almost to the present.
We had Mitch Altman.
And that's it.
We have a screenshot of that. Whew. It's a lot.
So that is 5 years of Ask an Engineer.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done 250 shows in a row.
Yeah, I can't believe I talked you into doing a live video show every week.
I really didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But now it's cool. Now it's easy. It only takes me 3 years to get used to something.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do mailbag. Yeah, let's do mailbag, and we'll keep getting through this.
All right, that was a whirlwind tour.
Yeah.
And people can look through these by going to the blog and searching for Ask-Engineers or
tag.
tag.
Ask an Engineer. They can. Okay.
All right.
So next up, here it is, mailbag. We do the mailbag. We've been doing this for a few years too. This is from Charles. Thank you very much. Please send aid for support Mike. My deepest thanks for his attempt to get this unit working top shelf support, guys. A truly great experience. Feel free to quote me. We did.
We will, Charles. Happy face.
Okay, next up in events, we have this going on. This is the Cocktail Robots Grand Challenge at DNA Lounge, GWZ's place. If you like gothy music, gothy people, and robots, and drinks in San Francisco, this is coming up. Yeah, this is coming.
Angst,
yeah,
and hating Netscape.
This is coming up September 14th, Sunday in San Francisco. Check it out and enter.
Yep.
Prizes from Adafruit. Next up, some news in the world of open source hardware. I'm doing a follow-up because we got word from Inc. Magazine because the search on the site will show you the number 1 through however many manufacturing companies there are in the New York City metro area. And we said, hey, we did a search and it said that we were #1 manufacturer in the New York City metro area.
Yeah.
Fastest growing privately held company. Can you confirm? Because that we were a little surprised because that didn't seem like that was possible. Because surely there's surely it was like
but
surely there's other people. So they said #11 nationwide, but and 570 out of 5,000 companies. But for manufacturing, New York City metro area, #1. Okay. So that's amazing.
Yay!
So New York City metro area, fastest growing manufacturing company.
We cannot do it without our team.
Yeah.
All New York metro people. They work so hard every day in, day out, to do the manufacturing, run the machines, keep everything going. It is many people's job.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Adafruit Learning System. We have some new guides. How many guides are we up to, Ladyada?
We are up to 576. I know because I looked it up.
Okay.
Because I was trying to figure out how many we were away from 600.
Okay.
We're at 576
okay.
tutorials, and they're all good. Each one of them delicious tutorials. Go check them out. Check out some of the older ones too, because some things don't get as much love, but they're still pretty cool. Okay.
So this one goes with a new product you're going to be showing off soon.
This is the PowerBoost 500 Shield tutorial. Just talks about PowerBoost 500. Has some images of how to assemble it, some details, schematics, layout, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Next up, this is going to be live and
this is
around tomorrow, but you can see it now.
Build your own Raspberry Apple Pi. This is a little miniature 3D printed Raspberry Pi enclosure, and it looks just like a Mac Classic. You can print it in your favorite color. You can even run VMac, which is a Mac virtualization for Linux. And it does work. It's SDL based, so you can actually run Mac Paint on a Pi TFT in a little Mac. And this project shows you how to 3D print it, and also you can toss in a battery pack so to make it portable and rechargeable. I don't know. It's just adorable.
Okay.
You can run like Talking Moose on it or something.
Yeah. Next up, we just released this one today. This is a really good one.
This is a guest tutorial by Steven, I think. Or sorry, Spencer. Sorry, Spencer. I can't read. Spencer, this is a project that we saw on his blog, and we were like, this is a really, really great MPC radio controller. This is a Pi TFT, and he's like, wow, yeah. And I'm like, hey, we'd really like to have you put the tutorial on the learning system, and he was excited to do so. And there's even a little video, and basically this is a streaming radio service that goes out to, you can put a list of servers you want to use, and it will just stream the radio, and it's got this gorgeous GUI where you can stop and play and fast forward and all that good stuff, and it's written in Python, and it's just really good and a great Pi TFT project. Just make your own little internet radio controller.
Okay. Next up,
and it'll even display what is played. This
is the tutorial version of Colin's Lab, binary and hex.
Yep. Very
cool. Check it out. Check out the video. Next up, this is the wearable electronics tutorial from today. This is serial debugging with Gemma. If you like Arduino and you like doing serial debugging, but you want to do it with Gemma, this is how you could do it.
To make Gemma really small and low cost, there's no serial converter chip on it. You don't need it. For a lot of basic projects, you can just load the code in and have it run. Especially like NeoPixel projects, it just blinks LEDs. But if you're trying a little more complicated project, you can actually do serial debugging with a console cable. We show you how to basically make a clip-on cable that's really handy. You have one, and then you can recycle it for all your Gemma projects.
Okay, and then next up, this is a super cute one. This is the Adabot Wave Shield Talking Clock by Phil B. This is one of the cutest, cool projects. Now,
so cute.
This animated GIF is a little fast. For some reason, when they import in there, beep, 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 beep,
beep, beep, beep. It's not that fast. Do you want me to turn this on?
Well, yeah, what I want to do is I want to put it on the overhead. Now, for the people who have been watching the show for the last few years, 5 years, it's always tough to figure out a way to do the best quality video broadcasting when you're not a broadcaster. So we eventually got to HD broadcasting.
Sharp.
And you'll notice a lot of the web shows out there, they're not even up to HD, especially the live ones. But we got to HD, and then the other problem was always, well, how do you do an overhead camera that's also the same quality? So this is the first time we're showing this off.
Trying out this new one.
This is the first time we're showing this. This is our HD overhead camera.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's really
really nice.
Really sparkly,
you can see
nice.
I bite my nails.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can turn on the
so
turn on the Adabot head.
I'll explain what it is. So it's an Arduino, and then actually have that battery shield to make it wireless. And then there's a wave shield here and a real-time clock module. and a couple of LEDs. And Phil B put this together and wrote the tutorial, so I'm going to turn it on. And you can just power it from a wall adapter. You don't have to battery power. It makes it easier for me to do demos if there's no wires.
And I'm going to bring my microphone over there.
Okay, so when you press the button,
the time is 8:23 p.m.
Do it again. Turn it off and turn it back on.
Okay, hold on.
That's fine.
Hi there.
Yeah, when it starts up, it's hi there.
The time is 8:23 p.m.
So it actually has a wave for every number, and then PM, and it is, and all those words, and it strings those together really fast. And you can see it actually sounds like it's basically a speech synthesizer, but you don't need a speech synthesizer. You just have to have all the single words recorded. And you can customize this, and you don't have to use an Adabot head. You can, of course, do any character you want and customize the words. We just recorded Adabot saying like 1, 2 o'clock, 53, 48, whatever. So it's like 25 waves or something, and just stuck my SD card. But it's a fun little project, and Phil B did an excellent job on it. So please check it out. I just love the idea of I was like talking clock, but it's surprisingly fun.
Okay.
And it has these blinky eyes, which is just so cute. It goes blink, blink.
Okay. And then next up for wearables, we have our video of the week, and that is the serial monitor video with Gemma. So we're going to watch that video right now.
Gemma and Trinket are great when you want a tiny, low-cost microcontroller to embed in your project. But one of the trade-offs is that they don't have a serial port for debugging your sensor values. For example, maybe you want to make a pair of Firewalker sneakers but use Gemmas instead of Floras, but there's no way to easily calibrate your Velostat step sensor since you can't see the numerical value of the reading. I like to keep a Flora around for this purpose even if I port the project to Gemma later. But there's a workaround. You can use software serial and a modified console cable to debug values on Gemma. Let's wire it up. Cut off the headers from the end of the console cable and tin the leads with a little solder. A third hand tool can be helpful here. Slide on some heat shrink tubing and prep your alligator clips. I chose to match the colors of the wires to make it easy on myself later. Connect black to ground, red to 3 volts, green to pin D0, and white to pin D1. This only leaves room for debugging one sensor on digital pin 2, aka analog pin 1. So if you've got NeoPixels connected that react to your sensor, you'll have to leave them off for now. Make sure you have the console cable's driver installed, and then it should show up like a regular serial port in your Arduino serial monitor. Once you can see your sensor values, you can make changes to your program to trigger events at different thresholds. If you'd like to try this at home, check out the link in the description to the complete tutorial for this technique, which was inspired by you guys' troubleshooting threads in the Adafruit forums. So keep those questions coming, both in the forums and in the comments, and I'll tackle them every week on our live show right here on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to catch the next one.
All right.
Thank you, Becky.
Yeah. And don't forget, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Becky.
Okay.
And Mr. Ladyada.
Yeah,
You're on camera control.
I just operate off to the side. I'm here to make you guys do your thing. So
you're the tech guy.
I just
hey, tech guy.
I'm committed to being an expert at things that don't matter right now.
It's cool.
So
leave the engineering to us ladies.
That's exactly right. That said, speaking of experts, the best people in the world doing 3D printing, showing and sharing is tomorrow, 3 p.m. 3D Hangout.
On 3D Thursday.
Matt, Noah, and Pedro. I have a quick note. So we're going to, for our 3D section that we normally have, I'm going to skip it, and we are going to talk about it in the new product section because we have filament.
Yay.
And it took us pretty much a year. It took a year to find the best filament.
But we have it now.
We have it, and every person involved with 3D printing in Adafruit and beyond weighed in, and we spent a long time figuring out the best ones. We have it, so we'll talk about that shortly. Okay. For Pi News, there is one thing I wanted to have this in this section because it was a big deal. It's very easy to do Raspbian for the resistive and capacitive touchscreens. Tell me what this is, because I know you've been working hard on it.
Yeah, I've been working on this for the last couple weeks on and off, and I actually just finished it. So what what I did was basically adapt a script that Sean Cross wrote for me a while ago to create images. And basically the tough part is you want to create an image of an SD card without actually booting it. Because once you boot an SD card, it actually does all these things like generate like SSH host keys and like all this other junk that only happens like the first time you boot, and like you don't want it necessarily to have that happen. So we have this script that actually mounts an image and then like does all these changes to it in like a Unix root environment, and then unmounts the image like carefully and like, you know, you have to basically just get it all the steps right and all this junk. And upshot is that like I have a script now that I run on a Raspberry Pi that takes an image of Raspbian and makes a ready-to-go PyTFT image. And I've done this for the resistive and capacitive PyTFT. And what's nice about this is that like as I do more stuff with like custom displays or custom controllers or whatever, we can make an image that when you put it in, it automatically boots into something like the Cupcake or the PyTFT, and it's like a super clean image. Yeah. And as Raspbian updates, we just run the script. The only problem is it takes forever because it runs on a Pi, and it runs off an SD, like the SD card, like you have a 16 gig SD card. So it's like, it takes like 2 hours to generate an image. But once it's done, it's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
Check it out if you're interested. How do you create a clean image of a Linux distro with changes, but without booting it? Yeah. Check out the shell script.
Okay.
Much shelling.
Don't forget, the code is 5 years. It's 15% off. We will not be doing this again.
Yep.
15% off everything in stock.
There's no more 5-year anniversary. Yeah. This is it. This is the only one.
Not EagleCAD and not gift certificates. Everything else that's in stock is 15% off.
Including the fine things we're going to show very shortly.
Okay. It's new product time, Ladyada. New product. Okay.
New.
First up, we have a new video that went with our product launch last week, Pro Trinket. And Pro Trinket, I would ask you to explain what it is, but instead, I'm going to have Past You do it.
Just watch this video.
Ready?
Hey everybody, it's me, Ladyada. I'm at the Adafruit factory here in Manhattan, and I'm here to talk to you about another new design I just finished, the Pro Trinket. Pro Trinket is the update to Trinket. It's got everything you love, plus Arduino, squished into one delicious package. You may already be familiar with the Adafruit Trinket. It's a board we designed about a year ago. It's meant to be a small, easy to use, and low-cost microcontroller board for your small projects. But some people want to build something a little more complicated. So now we have Pro Trinket. Pro Trinket has 4 times as many pins and 4 times as much flash, so you can build much more complicated and elegant projects. This is the classic Trinket. It's based on the ATtiny 85 AVR microcontroller. This microcontroller has 5 I/O pins, 8K of flash, and a half a K of RAM. In comparison, this is the Pro Trinket, which we based off of the Atmega 328 processor. This processor has 32K of flash and 2K of RAM and 18 I/O pins. So it's about 4 times as much everything. It's got a lot of horsepower. If the processor on the Pro Trinket sounds familiar, that's because it's the same one used in the Arduino Uno, the Atmega 328. This means that the entire ecosystem of Arduino-compatible sketches and libraries work seamlessly on the Pro Trinket. Design your prototype on the classic Arduino Uno. Once you've finished your project, you can load the same code into your Pro Trinket. That way you can miniaturize your project. Pro Trinket comes in 2 flavors. We've got the classic 5-volt 16 megahertz version. This one is most like an Arduino Uno. And we've also got, for power users, the 3-volt 12 megahertz version. This one is good for people who need 3-volt logic or runs on battery and don't mind that it's a little bit slower. Solder header to the bottom of your Pro Trinket to make it breadboard friendly. This way you can prototype projects, like this GPS plus OLED display. There's 2 ways to upload code to your Pro Trinket. The first is using the onboard micro USB jack. This allows you to upload code through the Arduino IDE, but since there's no USB serial chip on board, it doesn't provide you with a debug console. The second method is to use an FTDI cable. You can use any FTDI cable or FTDI friend. This allows you to not only upload code through the cable, but since there's a USB to serial converter chip inside the cable, it also gives you a debug console. Each Pro Trinket is designed, engineered, manufactured, and shipped out of the Adafruit factory here in downtown Manhattan. Do you have a project that could use an Adafruit Pro trinket? I'm pretty sure you do. If so, pick one up today at the Adafruit web shop.
Okay.
Okay, trinket was like 9 months in the making, so I'm glad that it was finally birthed from my brain. Because we started it in September, and I just like kept taking forever to finish it. But it's done. It works really well. I really like it, and we're going to be using it in a lot of projects. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to do with trinket, but trinket couldn't handle it. Didn't have enough memory or enough pins. So you'll probably be seeing a lot of more complicated mini projects with trinket, and hopefully other people as well. It's been popular. We sold out like in a couple days.
Next up, we've got a new GoPro camera holder.
Yeah, you like this. You ordered this. What's your thoughts here?
Okay, so here's the thing.
You got this thing.
Yeah, so this is from a company that a lot of people know.
Yeah.
The folks who make the...
Yeah, it's Panavice.
Yeah, the Panavice. If you like the quality of Panavice, and you probably have one, we use them here all the time. Here's the one that's permanently on the Ask an Engineer desk. If you like that type of quality and product,
this is intense suction.
Yeah,
I feel like lifting entire table.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not gonna do
that.
It's got a suction cup.
Yeah, it's a suction cup. So this, I'll go back to the photos of it, but this will mount a GoPro, and it just has the same quality and durability.
It's really intense.
As a Panavice.
It's like half metal, half cast, and then like resin.
Here, you can put it underneath the overhead for a second and kind of show it around.
Yeah, you've got like adjusting knobs, and then this like killer suction cup, which is like, there's like a releaser because it's so powerful, or a compressor. Wow, there's even like, that's cool, there's like these holes. I don't know, anyways. And this is your GoPro camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like a really intense GoPro mount. You could probably use it for other stuff. Does it have a generic camera mount, or is it GoPro only?
This one is GoPro.
Okay, this is your GoPro.
But you could also...
Well, we're using GoPros all the time for our videos and stuff.
Yeah, so if you want to mount this to your workbench, or if you want to mount it to like anything...
Oh, you can do like a time lapse or something?
Yeah, anything where it's hard to get a tripod or something like that. It's great. Tried it out, really liked it, decided to put it in the store.
Okay, good enough for me.
Yeah. Next up. This is interesting.
These are weird.
These are weird. I've not seen these anywhere.
No, this is really unusual, but I thought they were kind of interesting, and they're really low cost. I mean, it's not like the most useful thing, maybe, but I think that there's probably uses for this that I don't completely know yet. But like once I see them, I'll be like, wow, this is the most useful thing. They're basically just this is like the most basic breadboard. It's just like a strip of pins, and I'll show the bottom of them because actually that's where the action is. Yeah, so you can see it's basically like a little breadboard strip where you have like 8 or 4 pins, and then you can have 8 or 4 rows with 2 pins each. So I just showed them like if you wanted to add a little piece of breadboard to a permaproto.
Yes, I can go to the overhead.
Thanks. So like I have a permaproto, and you can solder this in and then create a little mini breadboarding area if you wanted to. You can also use socket, but this is maybe like a little more elegant to use. And you can stack them up next to each other. So I mean, they're little breadboard pieces. Also, like sometimes you maybe don't want to use you want to just attach like wires or chips or LEDs to a permaproto or like a proto shield or something. It might be handy. They have little bumps on the bottom, but you can cut those off. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Little mini breadboards.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss because I don't have like a super excellent reason for this. I just thought they were interesting. But you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes I carry stuff that I just think is interesting, and other people are like, "Yeah, you're right. That's like really interesting."
Yeah, I think if you did if you used a permaproto and you had like a permanent part of your project, but then you wanted to have one part where you just wanted to do a lot of different testing and stuff like that. That's the way I'd use it.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
You have one part of your circuit you're done and finished with, another part you just want to do experimentation.
Yeah, like you want to swap out different LEDs.
Yeah.
Another thing about like socket header, like you're like, well, I could just use female socket header, but the socket header, it doesn't quite grip as well as the breadboarding chunks, which have like a really strong spring, and you can use almost any gauge wire. So for that reason, like you may want to try this instead.
Okay, next up. As I was saying before, we have filament.
Filaments.
So right now we have black, silver, white, and gray.
Black, silver, white, and gray in ABS, PLA, and 1.7 millimeter and 3 millimeter.
Yeah.
So basically, like every kind, every combination of ABS, PLA, 3 millimeter, 1.75 millimeter in 3 colors, and we will add more colors, but we were starting with Adafruit colors, Adafruit black, and then desaturated Adafruit black, and all the way desaturated Adafruit black.
Okay.
So yeah.
So let me tell you about this and why we chose this one.
Why did you choose this?
Yeah, I just updated the product page.
Okay.
So why do we choose this over the other options? We sampled filaments from dozens of trusted 3D filament suppliers and tested them out on our fleet of 3D printers. We actually have a fleet of 3D printers. Several options worked okay, but we found Ultimate Machine's range of plastics are the most consistently reliable in terms of printing and spooling, and we've switched to using this filament for all of the Adafruit prints. So some people have asked, how do your prints look so good? This is what we've been using. The other thing is, if you had to decide on what to look for in a filament, it shouldn't clog. It has to be reliable diameters. That's one of the things.
It's just unspooled and it can't
free
get
of
hot.
free of imperfections. It arrives in a plastic bag, so there's no humidity issues. The spools are not tangled up at all.
Yep.
And the size of the spools are compatible with a lot of different types of 3D printers.
Yeah.
The raw materials that they used is from NatureWorks. It's PLA 404 3D. Indigo resins created from corn grown in the US. The pigments used are also bio-friendly, and this is for PLA, specifically for PLA. So
we like this filament.
Yeah.
We hope you do too.
So
We've heard no complaints from people about this filament, and like we had a really smooth time printing it, and like we've been printing stuff that takes 49 hours. So if the filament isn't good, like you really don't want to go get into like a multi-day print.
Our next project is a project that took days to print.
Days.
Okay, so next up, we have an update of an Adafruit Classic.
Classic. This is like product like 75 or something. This is the Proto Shield Rev 3, and it took me a while to get around to it, but then we finally ran out of Proto Shield PCBs. Like we ordered enough for like a year because they were so popular, and then we're like, oh man, I ran out. I'm like, I should really revise it. So we revised it, and because like we bought some and we could even lower the price. This shield is an upgrade. It now adds. It comes with stacking headers, which is great. Stacking headers didn't exist when we first had the Proto Shield, but now they do, so you can stack them. We enlarged the holes a little bit on the Proto Shield, and we made it R3 compatible, as well as fully stacking compatible. So you can use this with any shield and pretty much any Arduino, and I will show some examples of stacking if you would like to go to the overhead. Yeah, and this just shows you like, oh, look, I have like stuff on it. Proto area, very good. And this is a video of the little animated GIF.
Okay.
So this is the assembled Proto Shield, and so we have stacking headers. There's a little area for surface mount chips, but it's now fully stacking. It's got the 6-pin stacker over here, and it's got full stacking headers, so you can plug it into any kind of Arduino, like Uno, Dominove, Leonardo, Mega, Due, whatever, and it works quite well, and it stacks through all the parts, so you can stack any shield on top of it. If you're using like an Arduino Ethernet or YUN, which I have here, one thing that's a little, it's not bad, but just watch out for is the Ethernet jack and the USB jack are taller than the USB jack on the, so you can see it's like 3 millimeters taller. So you can stack this shield on top of it, but it just doesn't sit like all the way down. You can only stack, it sits, but it's like, it kind of leans up a little bit. Maybe not a problem for you. I mean, all the pins still make contact. It doesn't sit as flat. So that's a little bit of a trade-off, but it does work. And yeah, you can basically stack as many of these shields as you want. You have a big prototyping area here. You can have chips, you have power rails, you have some LEDs and buttons. Kind of a generic Proto Shield, but it works very well. It's one of our classics and most beloved. Here's
the question. Is the Proto Shield at all related to Make's Proto Shield? No, Make's Proto Shield came out way later.
Yeah, we've had this Proto Shield for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Maker Shield's based on our design.
I think they used some of the ideas and they added some more stuff. Yeah. I like the Maker Shield. It's nice. It's a very nice design. I just kind of like my classic design a little bit more. Also, I don't know if they upgraded theirs to R3, but I kind of was getting annoyed when I'm like, man, like those
we had to do R3.
R3 pins aren't there.
Okay, so. Next up.
Okay.
This is a big one. And I like to call this a category product because forever, 3 maker fairs ago, when we this is a 3-year project.
I know, I'm sorry.
This is the battery shield, but we're also calling it the power boost shield. Now, before you get going into this,
I'm not going to do it. I'm just.
Before you get going into this, we have a video about our power boost series.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Let's watch that video.
Yep.
Hey everybody, it's me, Ladyada, here at the Adafruit factory in New York, and today I'm going to show you how you can portabilize your project using Adafruit Power Boost. The Power Boost family solves a common problem that you've probably experienced in electronics, where you want to run something that really wants 5 volts off of something that only gives you maybe 3 or 4 volts. We've cooked up Power Boost in 2 flavors. We've got the rechargeable version that uses rechargeable lithium-ion or polymer batteries, and the non-rechargeable version that can use any kind of batteries. Let's talk about these kinds first. For most projects, you can get away with using the Power Boost 500. This booster can supply at least 500 milliamps at 5 volts. For power-hungry projects, you may need the Power Boost 1000. This booster can give you at least 1 amp at 5 volts. To power your Power Boost, you'll need to connect up a battery. You can use any kind of battery with 2 to 5 volts output. For example, a rechargeable lithium-ion or polymer battery, or a couple AA's or AAA's. You can use rechargeable or alkaline. Once you've picked your battery, just plug it in and look for the power light. Once you've got the battery connected to the Power Boost, you can use any USB cable to power your project. Now you're ready to glow. You can even use it to power your phone. Each Power Boost has a low battery indicator LED that lights up red when the input batteries drop below 3.2 volts. This lets you know it's time to recharge or replace your battery. For really power-hungry projects, you may want to upgrade to the Power Boost 1000, which can provide an amp or more of current. This is good for big projects that use a BeagleBone or a Raspberry Pi. It can even charge up tablets. Now we're onto the rechargeable Power Boosts. This is the Power Boost 500C. That means it's a Power Boost 500 plus some lithium-ion charging circuitry over here. That means you can only use lithium polymer or lithium-ion batteries with this Power Boost. You can charge up the battery by plugging any micro USB cable in, connected up to a wall adapter or computer. There's 2 charge LEDs. When the yellow LED is lit, it means it's charging. When the green LED is lit, it means it's done. If you like the Power Boost 500C and you're using it with an Arduino, you may be interested in the Power Boost Shield. It's kind of like a Power Boost 500C, but in shield format. You've got the same Power Boost 500 circuitry and the charging circuitry as well, but you can stack it onto an Arduino and fit a battery inside the shield. Then stack whatever other shield you like on top. It even gives you an on-off switch so you can glow on the go. Each Power Boost is designed, engineered, manufactured, and shipped out of the Adafruit warehouse in downtown Manhattan. Next time you need to take your project on the road, pick up one of these fine Adafruit Power Boosts at the Adafruit shop. Okay, thank you last week.
All right. Yeah, so we have some photos of it and we have it in action.
Yep.
This is one of the coolest shields because so much had to happen for this to work out. From the great batteries that we have, to all the manufacturing equipment, to all of the things that go along together perfectly with it. And you did a really good job on this.
Yay.
I know you've been working on it for a long time. So do you want to show this on the overhead?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
So here is the shield, and I just plug, it's a stacking shield, and I just put it onto an Arduino Uno. And yeah, you have a little spot here. You can put a battery in it, and it's perfectly sized for our 1200 milliamp hour battery. We're also getting a 2000 milliamp hour battery, which isn't here yet. It's a little bit thicker, but also fits in here. But for now, 1200 is fine. I'll run your project for a couple hours at least. And the battery plugs into here, and then all the circuitries are on the side, so it's all safe and protected. It has onboard charging at 500 milliamps, so you can just use a micro USB jack and plug it in. And this little yellow LED means it's charging. So, you can leave it charging while you use the shield. It can be on or off. There's a protection diode and a fuse, so you don't have to worry about, you can have it charged and also program the Arduino through the USB port or whatever, it's fine. When you're done, you can just disconnect it. There's a LED that also goes on when the battery's fully charged, but I've been running this all day, so it will take a while. And then you can turn it on by flicking the switch. So you get a little on-off switch here. And then the blue LED turns on. There's also a red LED that turns on when the battery's low, but right now the battery's not quite dead yet. And that's it. It basically provides 500 milliamps of current at 5 volts, and it actually can provide 1,000 milliamps. It can provide an amp, but I wouldn't draw an amp for a really long time. The battery, especially this size battery, doesn't like that much current draw for a significant amount of time. It reduces the battery life. I mean, you can do it. Basically, if you can run off of a USB port, you can run off of this. And, I'll demo it, for example, with a NeoPixel shield. So you can just stack any shield you like on top. Hold on. So my demo uses a NeoPixel shield, and I can turn this off, and you can see it is glowing on the go. And then if you ever need to, you just turn it off, turn it back on, and it starts up again. So it's just like basically a portableizer.
NeoPixel belt, finally, it's here. I can have, that's giving
Yeah,
my belt. This is my belt buckle.
Okay.
This is my belt buckle. Look at this.
Yeah.
Give me my belt buckle.
All right. I think that's mostly all of it. I mean, it does require a little bit of soldering. You have to put the stacking headers on. But I think this will be really handy. I use this all the time now because I need to have portable projects.
Yeah.
And it's just because it's rechargeable, you can just leave it charged in until you need to use it. You can't charge the battery through the Arduino. You have to charge it through the micro USB jack. If you sit down and you draw out the diagram of how the power works in the Arduino, you'll see it actually isn't possible to charge the battery and also power the Arduino. There's only one pin that's shared. So instead, we charge through a separate port, but that's fine. And you can also unplug the shield, charge it, and then plug it in when you use it.
A couple quick questions on it. Does it work as a UPS charge and power the project at the same time?
Yep. If your shield, if the project uses less than 250 milliamps on average, it'll stay charged because the charge rate is 500 milliamps, and then you have to boost it, and there's a little bit of inefficiency. So about like 250 to 300 milliamps. If your project uses less than that amount of current, you use a charger doctor or whatever to measure it, it'll act as a UPS. But and not only that, but it won't use it'll automatically switch over from the battery to the from the power supply to the battery because it's a protection diode. So if you have it plugged in over a 9-volt connector and you unplug it, it'll automatically switch over to the battery. So you can actually just keep the battery charged, and then it only switches over to it when you need to.
Okay. And the other one was, is there any breakouts for leads that you can go into for connecting external leads? I think you meant external less, but I think you meant external leads.
External LEDs, there isn't. This is kind of meant to be all-in-one. I might make a revision. The thing is, there's not a lot of space because I wanted to not have anything collide with the battery. I might put some pads on the bottom later. You can measure the battery voltage through an analog pin.
Yeah.
Just use analog read. But there's no support for like external LEDs. Just use the on-board LEDs. They're really bright though.
Okay. All right. Next up, really big news. Adafruit is now a record producer. We have a very real album. It's called Frequency.
It's a real album.
If you like Adafruit music in all of our videos before our shows, all the things that sound like Adafruit, the cool electronic beepy music that you hear every time we show and share projects and have cool videos. This is a real album. It's limited edition. When they're gone, they're gone.
We're not going to do this again.
And
we're not that stupid. No,
yeah, when they're gone, they're gone. This took a really long time to do. The album title is Frequency. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This is your soundtrack to soldering. Tom White, our director of receiving and logistics, is a musician. And a long time ago, I told him, you're going to have a record one day. And he thought I was kidding. And I really liked his music. He's in a band with another group of folks here, Frog, and also in one called Little Anchor. The album art is Bruce Yan, our creative director, and this is it's a beautiful album. I've never seen pink vinyl, so let's.
You want to hold this up?
Well, yeah. Why don't you take the album off? We have a record player now.
Yeah, this is the album.
Yeah,
we got it in Adafruit pink and Adafruit black.
It's a real album. So this is.
You get the album.
Yeah. And the other thing is, all of the songs are Creative Commons.
And this is like PID 1600. So how long have we been working on this? It's been like
Over 400 products ago.
Yeah, it's like been a year.
Yeah, so we have a record player, and we're going to just play it while we show some more stuff.
Let's start with side A.
Yeah, the other thing that we had to do at Adafruit is because we do so much content, it made sense for us to have an album because every time we have great content, when we first got going, YouTube would say, this is too good, you must not own it. And so now it's very clear that we have this album. So what I'm going to do
How do you do
is,
this thing?
well, I thought I would try to use the overhead as a camera since this overhead's been working out pretty nicely.
Hold on,
And,
let's configure this so that it's the...
yeah, and so I can
tone arm.
actually go up.
Oh, that adjusts. Okay.
Yeah, this thing is already earning its weight.
Okay, great. So is it lifted?
Yeah, and so the first thing we got to do is I'm going to try to focus this a little bit.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. This is like 6 engineers required here.
Yeah. So we got a real record player. I
Okay.
want to show that this thing actually works.
Okay.
I bought this record player.
Okay.
And so now we're going to turn it on.
Okay.
There it is.
It's on.
And
So then you want to move it? and
yeah.
then-
So this is our record.
Oh, the speaker's over here.
Yeah.
All right, so...
No, can hear it. We're fine.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like a giant CD for the young people out there. So
Ah! Don't do
it's
that.
okay.
Be careful. It's my album. Button track.
Yeah. Yeah, then you can move it over, and you can have it go down.
Yeah, see, nice lowering.
Okay. So if you want to listen to the music ahead of time, you can use the product page because we have it on SoundCloud. In usual Adafruit style, what we've managed to do
if
is
you don't have a record playing machine.
yeah, what we've managed to do, typical Adafruit style, is have it Creative Commons. And so you can listen to the music.
Yeah, and it's on SoundCloud. There's links. You can click on them. So you don't. I mean, you should download it and also buy the album because you have a record player most likely, or you found one at a Swap Fest or something,
Yeah.
and you want to rock out these tunes. It's excellent music. Tom's a great musician. Congratulations to him for his release of an album.
Okay. So we're probably going to go over a couple of minutes, which I expected.
Okay.
George Graves, thank you for hanging out with us and recording the show. That ends new products, just to be
Okay.
concise about what new products
Thank
are.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a little velveteen thing. This is a nice
Yeah.
record player.
Okay. So that was
Okay.
new products. Everything you saw just for like a few more minutes, just leading up till midnight, is 15% off. The vinyl records, we just did a limited run because we know there's not a ton of people who want this. This is something special that we wanted to do as a company and also kind of celebrate this old format that still means a lot. Now you collect it for a reason. So we thought that was a good physical reminder of some of the electronic music that we do. Also, when YouTube says, do you really own the music, we can actually show a picture of us. And, hey, we actually have the album. So
Nice album art.
yeah. We have a special segment this week. It's
Yes.
Top Secret Time.
Ooh.
Okay, Top Secret Time.
Okay.
Okay. Top Secret this week. You can't ask any questions about the stuff, folks. This is new things
Do not ask.
that is coming out.
I'm not even allowed to ask.
Yeah.
I've been taken off the wheel.
Yeah. So the first thing that we're going to show is this is a preview of a project that's coming out soon. Okay.
Ooh,
And
what
then,
is it?
And then the next up, I can't tell you anything more than just showing you some screenshots. Now, these are screenshots from a new live service. It's live right now. It's just not public. That we call Adafruit.io.
What happens if you go to Adafruit.io?
Nothing.
Okay.
Right now.
You have to be like,
You have to be
you have to be internal to
Yeah.
Adafruit.
So this is called Adafruit.io, and what we wanted to do, we looked at all the like Internet of Things out there, And what we wanted to do is have a site and a service that would allow people to pull and push data around. And so this is what it looks like. If you are familiar with the new Adafruit site, you'll say, wow, this looks kind of like the Adafruit site. It is, because it's tied to your accounts and your products that do things online. This is the local weather station, and it has humidity and temperature, how much battery is remaining, and the station power. You can turn it on or off, and you can reset it. So this is a live one from one of our developers, and this is what their Adafruit.io Internet of Things interface looks like. But wait, there's more. This one is a sprinkler monitoring system. And let's zoom in here. This is the master switch, system pause, water flow rate, water zone 1 and 2. And you'll be able to construct all these things. So maps, little widgets that go together. And you can build your own Internet of Things platform using all the stuff from Adafruit.io. Here's how some of the feeds look. And I'll zoom in a little bit here. But basically, you have all the things you'd expect.
And this is written by the competent and incredibly talented people who built Learn.
Yeah.
And the Adafruit site.
Yeah.
So you know it's going to be good.
And so if you've seen learn.adafruit.com, the new Adafruit site, and all the technology things that we've offered, this is a big project for us. It's gonna take a while, but this is the first and only time we're gonna show it. We're probably not gonna talk about this again for a really long time, but that's Adafruit.io. And this is a sneak peek, and these are live screenshots, no photoshopping or anything. This is actually from the team. I had them.
I want to like turn off their water zone.
I had them send it to me just right before the show, and you know.
So no questions.
No questions about this. Okay,
Not
so we're going to.
But is everything from Adafruit totally awesome and amazing? Yes. Yes.
Well, we're trying really hard, and we also have our internet.
Trying to make Justin Tyler feel good.
We also have our Internet of Things Bill of Rights. So if people are wondering how we think Internet of Things data should be, well, we're following our own words, and we have a very
we wrote articles about this.
We have a very unique point of view, which basically it's yours. It's your data, and you know, people ask like what happens with Nest and all that data.
Yeah.
You can't just download it as a file. Maybe they'll allow it one day, but we're starting out saying it's yours.
Yeah.
So okay. Right. Anyways, we do have a couple more things we have to do. We're running a little out of time, but we're going to do a trivia question now. Next week we'll have lots of time for questions, but here's a trivia question.
I know. Today's just been 5 years.
All right. Trivia question. What are the rules, Ladyada?
If you've won before in the last 5 years on this show, you can't win again. We want everyone to have a chance at winning. Today's prize is a record.
We're going to give away the Adafruit record.
You're gonna get this Adafruit record. You're gonna get a fresh one.
Yeah.
That you can unseal.
Yeah.
In the joy of your own home.
So you're gonna get.
So please only enter if you have access to record player.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna get Frequency, our new album.
You could use it for like frisbee, but it's not a very good frisbee.
Okay.
You'll get one Frequency album.
Okay. So here we go. Here's the trivia question. You ready? In 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution took effect. What right did it give? So type in the chat as soon as I see it first. You win. This is a very important milestone in history.
We're looking for like 2 key words here that you have to put
19th to 20th, 1920, the 19th Amendment to the United States takes effect. This was in our Time Travel Tuesday.
What did the 19th Amendment grant?
Yeah.
It's not a Daft Punk helmet. I wish it was. I wish it was like, we the people all want 3D printed Daft Punk helmets. So if you would like the fancy...
The right for robots to arm beer. That's a good answer. Probably maybe be the 119th
There must be
amendment.
one person who hasn't won something in the
Okay, here we go. Guess who got it? Do you want to say?
It is...
Scott Perry.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right here.
All right.
Scott Perry got it in the YouTube chat. You got it. Scott Perry, congratulations. You won. Scott Perry, he typed the right answer.
He typed it first. Sorry, I was looking at the other screen.
Women's right to vote. Now, why is that so important? Well, I can tell you as someone who works with women in technology, boy, isn't it great that you run a company You're an engineer. You're a successful
What's
business
interesting,
person.
when did women get the right to like own property?
I think that came.
Did it come before or earlier? It was around like Victorian times.
There was also like until the 70s. I think women had to get a cosigner on the credit card.
Credit cards. Yeah, you had to have a cosigner.
Yeah, it had so. A lot of progress has been made. Lots more to be made.
When did women get allowed to own Hakko soldering irons?
Yeah.
Still working on it.
So anyways, big milestone in humankind and U.S. history. So
Yes.
I really think it's cool that you're able to do all your things, and we live in a country where a woman can rise to the top. #1 manufacturing company in New York.
Yeah.
Lady owned.
Yeah.
Lady company. So
yeah, and we make records. We're a cell phone company, a record company,
Yeah.
manufacturing company.
So just a reminder, the code is 5 years. It's going on till midnight tonight, and that's 15% off. And we also have one special treat. Stick around to the very end because we're going to show a preview of F is for Frequency, our new circuit playground. We have a special clip from it. It'll be out very soon. But we have a special clip just for you. So thank you everybody who's been watching for the last 5 years. We really appreciate it. We've been running an Adafruit and also doing a show every week. There's lots of times where you
Thanks for all the guests we've had.
Yeah, we've had
amazing, wonderful guests.
Everybody in the maker world has stopped on the show in some way, in some form. Thank you all the staff who's helped us all along, all the people who are always in the chat and the Adafruit
Our community,
team, all
amazing.
the community out
Show
there,
and tell people,
the customers.
I'll give them some props.
Yeah, and we have another exciting 5 years, I hope.
We're going to probably be another 10 years.
Yeah, we'll probably keep doing that. And
can you imagine 15 years?
yeah, I don't want to see that time lapse because I'm just.
It's like gray.
Yeah, I'm just getting grayer and grayer. But thank you everybody so much. It means a lot to us. We keep doing this every week because we know we see a lot of familiar friends and faces. So with that being said, we are going to see a cat. You get a very you get a very fast moment of Zener. But for the next couple minutes, enjoy the special preview of F is for Frequency. This is for all you folks out there who've stuck with us for this 5 years. We're now just going to show you videos before we even finish them because we think you might like them. Yeah. The Adafruit.io thing, maybe you guys can just keep to yourself because we're not ready to talk about it.
We're so not ready. It's still alpha. It's not even beta.
Oh, no, it's more close.
Is it beta?
Yeah, it's close.
I thought I was supposed to get beta access. That's not big.
We're just, you'll get it soon. Okay. All right. Here it is. F is for Frequency. Preview.
Hi, Ladyada.
Oh, hey, Adabot. What's up?
I was wondering, why do radio stations each have their own number?
Oh, the number of a radio station is the frequency on which it transmits.
What is this frequency you speak of?
Well, frequency is how often something happens, like per second.
Huh.
Oh, to explain it, I better use my trusty oscilloscope here. Only thing is, I gotta go get the probes, so I'll be right back. Okay, wait here.
Psst, hey, over here.
What? Who said that?
Me, the talking screen over here?
Oh, hello, talking screen.
I'm not just a screen, I'm an oscilloscope, and I can tell you quite a bit about frequency.
Really? Like what?
Well, like Ladyada was saying, frequency is how often something happens over time. And we measure frequency in units called hertz.
Oh, does frequency hurt?
Oh no, that's a totally different word.
Oh, good.
Hertz is spelled H-E-R-T-Z, and it tells us how many times something happens per second.
Okay.
Watch this. Right now, my screen is flashing once per second, so we can say it is flashing at a frequency of 1 hertz. Now, my screen is flashing a bit faster, 3 times per second, which is a frequency of 3 hertz.
Got it. Hertz means how many times per second?
Precisely.